Hello everyone. This is Pamela Miles from New York City. Please, if you can hear me, go to the questions area and just type in where you're joining us from. Good. I'm seeing some locations around the world, always delightful. And Caroline is in the Dominican Republic. And Ontario and Florida and San Jose and Germany, Canada. Lots of people from the UK, Iowa. Welcome everyone. Nashville and Asheville, Ohio and Brooklyn, San Francisco, Connecticut, Ohio. Wonderful. New Zealand. Welcome Casey from New Zealand. And Denver and Maryland. Great locations, all of them, and you're all very welcome. And people are still coming in, but I'm going to start by reviewing the basics. We've been meeting twice a week since early March in response to the global pandemic. And we have people from around the world. Right now, we have about 15,000 people who have registered for these sessions, and they're all over, and I love that. You know, the image of us practicing taking care of ourselves in real time, at the same time, encircling our globe in self-care, love of self and love of other, and love of the planet. So, Reiki is a spiritual practice, and for those of you who are with us for the first time, I want you to know that I'm going to walk you through the way I practice in case you don't have a practice of your own. If you do have a practice of your own, you're certainly welcome to use that. And some people are practicing with us who have never learned to practice Reiki. So I can't teach you how to practice Reiki in a 45-minute gathering like this, but you can follow along the hand placements that I will show you in just a few minutes and give yourself a lovely laying on of hands self-healing. Okay? So why do we do this? Why do we take time out of our day to bother? In the email I sent out on Monday, which was just yesterday, I shared an email I had gotten from a Reiki practitioner in France who said how on Saturday she woke up and she wasn't feeling well. She had a headache, and it was her father's 80th birthday party that evening. They were expecting family to come, and she was cooking, and everything was in slow motion because she wasn't feeling well. But she took the time to join us for practice. And she said afterwards her headache was gone and the rest of the day went really well. So we practice to change our state, from wherever it is to an even better state. And the details, we never know exactly what they'll be, but we know we'll feel better. We practice Reiki to balance our nervous system so our bodies can self-heal, so our psyche can heal. We practice Reiki to retrain our nervous system so that it moves out of a habitual fear response and we don't get frightened as easily. You know, fear is a very human experience. Our human bodies are pretty vulnerable. You know? Our human psyches are vulnerable. We can easily feel isolated and endangered. And we don't want to live in that state of feeling like a limited powerless individual. Safety is a spiritual experience. When you experience that oneness, that we can access, all of us, every one of us can access that sense of oneness within us. And when we experience that oneness, we feel whole as individuals, and we feel like individuals who are also part of a greater whole. So the sense of isolation and powerlessness melts beneath this timelessness, this sense of empowerment. As human beings, a part of our awareness is always surveilling. It happens beneath our consciousness. We're looking to see, are we safe? And that's normal and that's fine. But it can be overdone. It can get overblown. So when something really frightening happens, our nervous system reacts in a way to save our lives. But when that surveillance system is overblown, it could be something that just startles us, or a memory or a sound that triggers a fear response, that sends stress chemicals into our bloodstream to enable our bodies to physically mobilize. You've heard the term fight or flight. So our blood pressure rises as the blood is being pushed to our arms and hands so we can punch if we have to, and into our legs so we can run. As we do that, all non-essential processes are stopped. We don't stop breathing because breathing is essential, right? But our breathing changes. It becomes rapid and it becomes shallow. And I already talked about how our blood circulation changes. We stop digesting. Digestion is not essential when we're endangered. We stop elimination and detox. And if a woman is giving birth and she becomes frightened, the birthing process stops. That's something we could spend a lot of time talking about. So the important takeaway here is that our bodies prioritize survival. Right? So we may be running and sprain an ankle, but because of the stress hormones in our bloodstream, because they mask the pain, we can continue running. We might even damage the ankle worse. Doesn't matter. The priority is to get out of danger. And we can heal the ankle later or live with a bum ankle if that's the best we can do. But what happens when we're not in physical danger, but our nervous systems thinks we are? This is why we practice, to change the default so we don't react with an overblown fear response so easily. So we can experience the safety of the oneness that is always accessible to us within everyone's heart. Your spiritual heart is this experience of timelessness. It's your humanness that knows time and pressure. Your spiritual self is timeless. So spiritual practices like Reiki take us out of sometimes it feels like a prison of our human body, into a deeper sense of self. A timeless self, a benefic self, a self that's full of love for ourselves and for others and for the planet. And then our systems start reorganizing around this experience of safety, of benevolence, of love. Our breathing becomes slower and deeper. Our blood pressure, if it is elevated, it normalizes. If it's already normal, it's not going to change. We resume normal functioning, maintenance, digestion, elimination and detox, self-repair, also sometimes called anti-aging. And then we can bring our experience of wholeness and wellness and timelessness and love into our lives, into our world. And from there, as we face this pandemic, and that's only one of the problems we're facing, from there to create a new normal that is healthier, that is sustainable. Are you with me? Does that sound like a good idea? Are you ready? So this is what I'm going to do. You can follow me if you like. I will pause the webcam while we're actually practicing, but I will come on and tell you. I'll be watching my timer and let you know when I'm moving my hands and where. So you don't have to memorize what I'm about to show you, all right? What I want you to do is, when we're ready to practice, get yourself comfortable. You can even lie down if you like. And we'll start by bringing our hands to the crown of the head. I will start that way. And anybody who wants to follow along with me, either like this or like this. If you're lying down, it may be like that. Or you can rest your elbows on your knees or on a pillow on your lap and do this. And then hands to your face. You're going to cup your hand a little bit so you're not putting pressure on your eyes, and make sure you're not pinching your nose, because Reiki practice is so much more fun when you're breathing. Then bring the heels of your hands together and cup them loosely around your throat. Again, no pressure. Then bring your hands to the back of your head, and your lower hand is at the base of your skull, not on the back of your neck. And the other hand is just above it. Your hands are probably going to be touching there. Then bring your hand to anywhere below your collarbones. You can feel where your collarbones are. Just place your hands comfortably below them. You can feel your sternum in the middle of your chest and trace it down to the very end of it. Just below that is your solar plexus. Leave your fingertips there and you'll find that your hands are straddling your lower ribs. So that will be our sixth placement. Then fingertips to your navel. And finally, resting your hands on your lower abdomen with your fingertips on your pubic bone. Now, please join me in shutting off your cell phone unless you're using it to connect with us. Just put it on flight mode. Give yourself the benefit of having this uninterrupted time. And I am setting up my timer here. We have 8 intervals, and the timer will be available very soon. My gift to you. There we go. Okay, are you ready? Anybody have a question about what we're going to be doing? Looks like everybody's good. Hello, Kathy Ann in Panama. And Deb, thank you for referring someone. Please do tell your friends what we do and invite them to join us. We need more people taking better care of themselves, don't you think? Okay, so as I told you, now I'm going to pause the video because I don't want you looking at the screen. I want you to get comfortable and close your eyes if you can. And just let your mind go where it wants. Just let it float, daydream, right? If you feel deeply drawn within in a meditative kind of state, that's lovely. Let that happen. If you fall asleep, that's also lovely. Let that happen as well. And when you hear my voice again, then you just follow along. Okay? So, this is our I Love Myself Reiki practice. And for anyone who's coming in late, they'll see what we're doing. And let's get started now. Hands to the crown of your head in any way that is comfortable for you. Hands to your face. Hands to your throat. Hands to the back of your head. hands to your chest. Fingertips to your solar plexus, with your hands straddling your lower ribs. Fingertips to your navel. Hands to your lower abdomen. Please keep your eyes closed a little longer and be still, but you can let your hands relax to wherever is comfortable. And notice how you're feeling now. Notice any little thing that's different. Perhaps there are a few words that come to mind that describe the state you're in now. My guess is that anxious or fearful isn't one of those words. Appreciate the depth of the state that you're in, how even it is. And then bring this experience that you're having now fully present in your body. Take your time. This is not a race. You want to be in your body and in this state at the same time. Spend a little extra time on any part of your body that you're not so comfortable with. But let the transition out of any practice be gradual. You don't want to shock your system. And wait until you feel fully present in your body and aware of the room around you before letting your eyes gently open. As a spiritual practice, Reiki practice is practical. When we open ourselves to experience our timelessness, it has very practical ramifications. Physiologic changes happen. Our state changes. And this is so important because, for example, cortisol, one of the stress hormones that is secreted when we feel frightened, actually suppresses your immune function. So being anxious is not helping you stay healthy. And this might also be of interest. Cortisol, when it's in your bloodstream when it shouldn't be, it inclines your body to hold fat. I don't know if any of you have put on the COVID-19, but there are reasons for that. And not moving as much as you're used to is part of it, but it has more to do with the state that you're in when you move. That's another way of changing your state, of feeling more comfortable in yourself. If you would like to share your words, please, when you're ready, reach for the questions area. And think of my website, reikiandmedicine.org, as a resource. There are so many free resources available, whether you're brand new to Reiki practice and want to know more about it, or you practice at home, or you're a professional. You can scroll down to the bottom of the website and you'll see there's a column that says free resources. Look around there. There's also the Reiki Professional Academy. You can look and see if there's anything there that might be helpful to you. I'm going to start the Right Reiki online program in a few weeks. I'll send you a link. You'll get a follow-up email in about an hour, and so I'll have links that may be of use then. And for those of you who have never been trained to practice Reiki, if you live in an area where an in-person class might be happening, check it out. Choose carefully. There's an article on my website that will help you know what to look for. If you're not in an area where you can meet in person, then I'm also offering small group, live, interactive, basic Reiki self-care trainings. And I have a couple coming up in September. So let's see your words. Open and accepting a light of hope, gratitude, healing, grateful, unknotted and decongested and warm. Very good. Calmer than before, yeah? Stillness within. Great. As we move into a calmer state, we do experience that inner stillness, serene, untethered, nourished, beautiful words, peaceful and protected, that sense of safety that exists within us. The website is Reiki in Medicine, Mary Lou is asking, .org, or just Google Pamela Miles Reiki, and it should be at the very top. Comforted and recharged. Comforted, again, the safety. So many of your words speak to that experience of safety. Soothed, comforted, again, peaceful, centered and peaceful, positive, peaceful, connected to the universe, harmonized, just plain happy. Love that. Blissful, lots of blissfuls here, calm and relaxed, wonderful, all great words. So thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me today. I really appreciate you doing this and taking good care of yourself so we can take good care of one another and good care of our planet. I hope to see you again soon. By the way, the practice on Saturday will be at 4:30 in the afternoon, New York time, 4:30 p.m., not a.m. I made yet another mistake on the email. I'm so sorry. But no, you can always just click the registration link because that will always, always, always have the correct time. All right, everybody. Bye for now. Be well, be happy. Bye.